It's December 2nd, 1939. Off the west coast of South Africa, a British cargo liner, the Doric Star, is running scared. Last week, a German raider sank a ship south of them. Now, shells are landing on the starboard side. Captain William Stubbs knows the terrifying profile instantly. Stalking his small ship is the Admiral Graf Spee, a 16,000-ton German pocket battleship armed with massive 11-inch 280mm guns. Full power. Send the distress signal. Stubbs orders, desperate to relay information in the few minutes he has left. When the German cruiser blinks a Morse code signal to cease transmission, Stubbs is defiant. To hell with that. Keep transmitting. Make sure every ship in the region knows they're here. Stubbs confirms the name in his final transmission. Pocket Battleship Graf Spee, with a fearsome warship right on top of them. Stubbs is forced to surrender. He and his crew are taken captive aboard the heavy cruiser, a practiced procedure for Captain Hans Wilhelm Langsdorff and his men, who then ransack the Doric Star before setting the scuttling charges. As the cargo hauler sinks, thousands of miles away off the coast of South America, a small Royal Navy squadron hears the dying transmission. The trap is set. Commodore Henry Harwood is already hunting the Graf Spee with his minimal force. The heavy cruiser, Exeter, and the light cruisers, Ajax and Achilles. Harwood immediately suspects the Spee is heading for the densely packed South American trade routes. The Graf Spee claimed another victim. I suspect South American traffic will be their next target. We need to be ready, Harwood states to his officers. His prediction: the River Plate estuary, the choke point for all cargo, headed for Argentina and Uruguay. The 16,000-ton Graf Spee turns into the trap, unaware. 13 days after the Doric Star's sinking, on the morning of December 5th, the British squadron is patrolling the estuary. Lookouts are on full alert until confirmed smoke at 3:20. Lookouts at the stern report the enemy. The Exeter, commanded by Captain Frederick Sickerbell, breaks west. Slowly, the masts, the superstructure, and the mighty guns of the German monster come into view. It's them. Tell Harwood we have a pocket battleship. After months of chasing shadows, the showdown is here. Harwood, aboard the Ajax, orders his plan. Tell Exeter to charge the ship from the south. We surround them from the east as practiced. The Exeter is completely outclassed, facing shells over twice as heavy as her own. But Bell trusts their strategic and numerical advantage. Opening salvo, the massive turrets of the Graf Spee traverse toward the charging British. Then, the opening shots of the Battle of the River Plate wash across the waves. The Exeter unleashes her 8-inch guns. Her gunnery officer, Lieutenant Commander Richard Jennings, recalls the captain's energized shout. "There's the fucking sheer! Open fire at her!" The Exeter's shells find the Graf Spee's hull, Doble Reskin anti-aircraft guns, but failing to pierce the heavy armor. In return, the German salvo is devastating. Massive shells detonate just short of the Exeter, the shock and shrapnel taking out her radio. "Sir, we've lost contact with Harwood. It's too late to turn back now. Press on." Bell roars. Bell watches through his binoculars as the Graf Spee's guns fire again. The shells linger for what seems like eternal seconds. The brutal impact takes out the Exeter's forward turret, sending shrapnel through the bridge. Bell finds himself dazed on the floor, surrounded by the fallen. Unhurt, Bell abandons the destroyed bridge and races to the aft conning station, desperately calling for sailors to act as messengers, re-establishing communications to the rudder and torpedo tubes. In minutes, a makeshift team of runners becomes Bell's only way to control the ship. Somehow, it works. Before we witness Captain Bell's incredible attempt to ram the Graf Spee, please take a moment to hit the like button below. This story of grit and defiance deserves to be shared. If you're fascinated by World War II naval history, please subscribe and leave a comment telling me which ship you think showed the most bravery. The doomed Goliath. The Exeter fires her torpedoes, but the messenger system is too slow for precise aiming and TAMEs. The two remaining turrets continue firing, but shell after shell ricochets off the Graf Spee's heavy armor. Finally, they strike luck. A round pierces the armor and detonates deep within, destroying the fuel purification plant. Though it causes no immediate damage, the ship has been doomed. Its usable fuel is cut from days to mere hours. Not enough to return to Europe. Another salvo strikes the Exeter, silencing her last turret. Gunnery Officer Richard Jennings, refusing to quit, runs to the last working main gun. To the crew's astonishment, Jennings climbs atop the turret and begins shouting, firing directions, taking the full blast of the heavy guns in the face, but correcting the range with every shell. Meanwhile, Harwood, aboard the light cruisers, realizes his crossfire strategy has failed. The Exeter is smoking and listing while the Graf Spee stands seemingly unharmed. With a sinking feeling, Harwood orders a desperate charge. Heading 285, close the distance. Proceed at utmost speed. The Ajax and Achilles break formation and charge to the Exeter's rescue. The Exeter's last turret, commanded by the madman Jennings, chases the Graf Spee, scoring hits across its superstructure. When the final Exeter turret loses power due to water damage, Captain Bell, in a fury, decides, "I'm gonna ram the bastard. It will be the end of us." But it will sink him too. The final deception just as the Exeter turns to ram. A salvo of shells brackets the Graf Spee. The light cruisers Ajax and Achilles have gotten past the smoke and opened fire with vastly improved accuracy. Harwood is on them. They finally got him. With damage and casualties mounting, Captain Langsdorff orders a retreat. Cease fire and full speed ahead. Set heading to Montevideo, Harwood shadows the German ship all the way to the neutral port of Montevideo. Once. Dock. The British begin broadcasting ESA intercept signals suggesting massive reinforcements are arriving. Langsdorff, unable to fix his fuel plant, lacking reserves for the return trip, and under orders never to let the ship be interned, saw only one option. Escape to Argentina, but he believed a reinforced British fleet stood in his way. Set up the scuttling charges. On December 17th, Captain Langsdorff, with only 40 men aboard, sailed the ship out of Uruguayan waters. He ordered the ship scuttled. Langsdorff wrote, "I alone bear the responsibility for scuttling the Panzerschif Admiral Graf Spee. I am happy to pay with my life for any possible reflection on the honor of the flag." 3 days later, in a Buenos Aires hotel room, he took his own life. The battle, despite the lack of a decisive sinking by British guns, was considered a massive success. Harwood was promoted and knighted. Captain Bell was hailed a hero, and Gunnery Officer Richard Jennings was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross. Thank you for following this incredible tale of strategy, desperation, and courage. If you were captivated by the David vs. Goliath struggle at the River Plate, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more untold stories of naval warfare, and let us know in the comments what was the most decisive factor in the British victory.